I got a problem, I got a strange addiction. Somebody help me, I need an intervention. It ain't alcohol or weed, there's just one thing that I need. I got an addiction to fruit trees. Got an addiction to fruit trees. I take a persimmon to breathe. Hey, the next one I'm getting jujube. Got an addiction to fruit trees. All right, peace, family. Just started this fire up. I'm about to start burning some wood in a minute, but I wanted to show you guys something real quick. I told you that I had a few new things that I have been doing, and I just wanted to kind of briefly go over some of that. First of all, I need to give a shout out, actually two. One to my brother from Humble Servant Homestead, because he actually was the first one that suggested it, and then the other one to my little sister from Home is a Jungle, because she made the suggestion a few weeks ago. I'm going to leave a link to both of their channels. Please check them out. Tell them VA sent you. Both channels, wealth of information. They both have amazing things going on. I'm a big person I'm big on people who have channel names that accurately describe them. Just to kind of give you an example of what I'm talking about. The everyday life of an OCD-ish chick. I don't know if she's like OCD-ish, outside of like, what we see in the videos, but it seems pretty accurate. Angela's busy bees. She's busy. She's always doing something productive, not just, foolishness, but productive busy. She does her canning, she does the farmer's market, she always has amazing harvest, she's cooking, just all types of things, man. Humble Servant Homestead, that brother is like one of the most humble people that you can ever encounter in these YouTube streets, seriously. Beautiful family, and they just have a lot of good stuff going on. They've got they got the stuff that they grow, and they're not, both channels, they're not just gardeners. They grow food. They've got homesteads in a sense. You know what I mean? They're into more on the permaculture side. So, check them out. Brother has chickens. My little sister, like I said, from Home is a Jungle. If you check her out, her property looks like a jungle of productive lusciousness. You know what I'm saying? And she's very, very smart, highly intelligent little sister, man. And honestly, I'm convinced that she's probably a leprechaun. So anyway, we had there was a lot more wood back there when I first started this channel. And brother told me that I should make a raised bed with some of those logs. And I thought that was a good idea, but my mentality at that time, I think I was thinking more along the lines of aesthetics, like where would I put a raised bed made out of logs when my other ones are made out of actual, wood planks, that you buy from the big box stores. And I just didn't want to put something like that out there where it would look like it was kind of sticking out awkwardly. So then this tree fell, and then my little sister was like, why don't you make a hugel bed? And I thought that was a good idea. I thought that was a real good idea, but I was kind of thinking like, where would I put it and what would I put in the hugel bed? The spring is winding down, or wound down really, we're into like fall. And I just didn't know what I would do. So initially, back that way, I found a spot behind this tree down yonder that is part of my property line, where I just started stacking wood and branches and things like that. For those who may not know what a hugel bed is, it's basically a bed, a garden bed that you make out of wood and logs. and then you put soil over top and you plant right in that. And what the idea is that the logs and the wood will break down and just be a constant soil builder and food for whatever you plant in it. You know, so I started putting logs and branches and things like that down there. But then I thought about something. Let's take a stroll down this way. I thought, you know what? I actually think that I have a good spot for a hugel bed. You can probably see it as we come up on it. Bam! Darcy. All right, so this is the hugel bed here. Basically raised bed, hugel bed. So I basically, I took both of their advice and I appreciate them both. So what I did was I took some logs and just made like a bed structure, you know what I mean? And on the bottom of the bed, I put cardboard. Now, when you use cardboard, I would recommend that you wet the cardboard down. You know, you can do it how you want, but it just works better for me when I wet it down. I mean, it still smothers out weeds, but it also doesn't just stay there and just become a cardboard structure that prevents water from like actually getting in. You know what I mean? And then it seems to attract more worms when I wet it down first. So I put cardboard down at the bottom. I also put, branches and things like that. Now the branches were sort of like, some of them were sort of like this. Some were more broken down than that. Some were less broken down. I put a good mixture of both, well, of all three. Like old branches, newer branches, and then like brand new branches fresh off of this tree. And the reason I did that is because I felt like the older branches would break down almost immediately. Worms tend to like wood. You know what I mean? They'll eat off of the wood. What they're really eating is the fungi that grows on the wood. They like that. Like I said, fungi gets into that wood, but that stuff will break down quicker. And then, I have progressively newer wood so that like throughout time, it'll just keep breaking down and keep making this soil rich for what I'm going to use it for. On top of the branches, I put some soil, and then I put a bunch of biochar that I made. Biochar is basically charcoal that you inoculate. You can use like weed, tea, or compost, and basically it provides like a source of nutrition that lasts pretty much forever. Then I put more soil on top. What else did I put in here? I put worm castings in here that I harvested. I also put, I chopped and dropped mulberry branches and leaves, comfrey leaves, and then I put this stuff here, this big stuff is bark. That's pretty much just to kind of promote fungal growth. Now in this bed, behind this curtain here, is a pawpaw. This is a seedling pawpaw. So I had this curtain up because pawpaws, when they're babies like that, for the first few years, actually, they don't really like too much direct sun. And even though this area here looks like it's tucked away and shaded, it actually gets direct sun for quite a few hours. So, when the sun is hitting it like that, I put that curtain on. It's basically just an old tomato cage and an old shirt. I put that, around it to keep the sun from hitting it directly. But when we have overcast and when the sun starts going down, I take it off. Like right now, I keep it off for a while. I have another cage here because I plan on getting another seedling. Now, these are not the name varieties, so these are gonna take a long time to fruit, a long time. So I'm not really looking for fruit right now. I'm making an investment, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get like 2 or 3 name varieties later in the year. I wanna get the sunflower, I wanna get the Rappahannock, and I think the Potomac. But I'm gonna get a few name varieties that'll fruit sooner, especially that sunflower. But, this is an investment. Now this right here is an aronia that I just planted in there. Now it still has green in it, You know, it may or may not make it, but if it doesn't, I have a backup one that's actually leafed out really well. It's in a pot. So, you know, we'll see what that does. We've got comfrey that I planted in here that's coming up. I actually planted garlic all in this bed as well. We've got navy beans that I put in here. You know, not so much to get a harvest from, but just to kind of get some nitrogen down into this bed as well. I want it to be a fungal dominated bed because we're dealing with trees and shrubs, you know, but they still do need some nitrogen. So that's beans. Those are the legumes. I've got lavender cuttings that I placed in here in different places. We want to see if they sprout. I'm sorry, we want to see if they root and grow. If not, we'll try again when the spring hits. What else did I put in here? I want to put some more herbs in here. I might put some oregano in here because my oregano is doing pretty good in my little herb bed. But I want to pack this bed with just green. You know what I mean? But I don't want, like I said, I don't want this video to get too long. I have a few other things that I'm working on as well. You know, all of this stuff that I'm trying to do, it's all, you know, investments. And what I'm trying to accomplish is not just, you know, sustainable food growth, but renewable food growth as well. You know, I want to get more into like perennials and things like that. You know, get a few more trees out here and, you know, just do it, man. But anyway, that's my raised hugel bed. You know, again, you know, check out my family, Humble Servant Homestead, good brother, good family, and home is a jungle. Fun, funny little sister, like I said, highly intelligent leprechaun. Tell them I sent you. All right, family, peace. Real quick, I forgot to mention too, I mentioned that brother from Humble Servant Homestead they got chickens out there, but sister from Home is a Jungle actually has ducks as well. And she's got a duck pond she dug out on her own. I mean, you know, both channels are amazing, so check them both out. All right, peace.